Hey, this is Lisa McManus from ATK's Gearheads, and I'm here to answer some of your questions about our video on Braisers. First one was, I have a family of 6. Which Braiser size do you recommend, the 3.5 or the 5 quart? I say for 6 people, you probably want to go with the 5 quart. It really does depend on the dish, but I think you'll enjoy having a little more space to cook enough portions for everyone. What is the deal with cleaning enameled cast iron? I assume you don't season it like you would standard cast iron. That's right. You don't need to. With enameled cast iron, the glass-like enamel coating covers the cast iron. You don't need to keep it seasoned. You don't have to worry about it reacting with acidic foods. You just wash it like anything else, hot soapy water. I wouldn't put it in the dishwasher. You don't want to really wear off that enamel coating and make it look dull and crack. Although if it does, it really doesn't matter, but it will stay a little bit nicer if you wash it by hand. You can just soak it and scrub it a little bit with a scrubby, soft scrubby sponge. It'll be fine. Besides capacity of what you're cooking, what does the Dutch oven do better than a Braiser? I want to add one of either to my kitchen, but I can only choose one. We think if you can only choose one, choose the Dutch oven. The Dutch oven offers you a lot more flexibility. The taller sides will let you do soups and stews with lots more liquid. You can put bigger roasts in that are taller. It's going to be a little bit more versatile. Things like deep frying, you don't want to do in a Braiser. It has low sides. But in a Dutch oven, it's a great way to do deep frying because you can use those high sides as sort of a splatter shield, and it keeps everything right down in there, and that heavy cast iron really retains the heat. So it gives you a lot more flexibility as a great big pot, and you can do other things in it. So Dutch oven over Braiser if you can only have one. Let's see, I can't really see why a Braiser makes sense. Other than a little larger surface area on the bottom, what's the advantage over a Dutch oven? I cannot think of a dish I can't do in the Dutch oven that I could in the Braiser. You're right, you could pretty much do anything that you could do in a Braiser in a Dutch oven. The advantages are really that wider surface area gives you more exposure to the dry heat as opposed to being in the moist heat, and that adds some browning, which adds flavor, so it does spread the food out a little bit more, create more surface area so that the hot air of the oven can brown and develop flavor. And so basically that's helpful. It's also a nice serving piece. You can take something that you've cooked in it and put it right on the table. Looks a little bit nicer because it's low and wide than putting your great big old Dutch oven on. But, I don't really have a problem with that at home. The other one, it looks nice for company if you're entertaining. And also those lower sides let you use it almost as a skillet so you can get tools in under food and move things around rather than going down into the Dutch oven. It's just minor things that are different. It's just a really interesting pan, and it does have a few advantages. And a last question, can you bake bread in one? We really would recommend doing it in the Dutch oven because you want that space for the bread to rise. So our recipe for things like almost no knead bread, where you put the bread in a parchment sling and drop it into the Dutch oven and cover it and then uncover it, that gives you that sort of really intense heat in the baker's oven type thing for nice crusty bread. It's a great recipe. Better to do that in a Dutch oven. There's some clearance, but I would probably opt for the taller vessel for that. But thank you for your comments and questions, and I hope you look forward to the next Gearheads.